Open almost any piece of sheet music and the very first instruction is a single word, sitting just above the opening bar, and it is usually in Italian. Before you play one note, that word has already told you the speed, and very often the mood, of everything that follows. Allegro at the top means hurry. Adagio at the top means take your time. Same notes, same staff, same key, but a completely different piece depending on which word you find up there. A melody-marked Adagio would feel calm and stately, and the very same melody-marked Presto would feel frantic and racing. The notes on the page did not move. Only that word at the top changed. So in the next few minutes we will learn the small handful of words that actually appear, sorted from the slowest crawl to the fastest sprint, plus the words that bend the speed while you play, and the words that set the feeling. By the end, you will glance at the top of a page and know how it is meant to go. Why Italian, and not your own language? Music printing grew up in Italy in the 16th and 17th centuries, and the publishers there fixed the vocabulary that every composer after them simply copied. So a player in London, in Berlin, or in Tokyo all read the same word and all know what it means. It became a shared code, the same way that sharps and flats mean the same thing in every country. The good news is that the working set is tiny. A dozen or so words cover nearly every score you will ever open. Most of them describe speed, a few describe feeling, and once you know them they read at a glance, the way you read a road sign without spelling it out. You do not need to speak Italian. You only need these words: Largo, Adagio, Andante, Moderato, Allegro, Presto, and a few cousins. Let us start where the music moves slowest, and climb from there. At the slow end of the scale, 3 words come up again and again. Largo means broad and very slow, the most spacious tempo of all, often around 45 to 60 beats per minute. Lento simply means slow. Adagio means slow and stately, a touch more motion than Largo, often around 60 to 75 beats per minute. These are the unhurried tempos, with room to breathe between the notes. You meet them in funeral marches, in the slow inner movement of a sonata, in a hymn meant to feel weighty and calm. Listen to a slow pulse around 50 beats per minute, the kind of clicker Largo sits on. Hear how much air sits between each beat. There is almost time to think between one beat and the next. That spacing is the whole character of the slow end. Nothing is rushed, every note is allowed to ring out fully, and the silence between the notes carries as much weight as the notes themselves. Move up a step and you reach the comfortable middle. Andante is the friendliest word on the page. It literally means going, or walking, and it sets the music at the speed of an easy, unhurried walk, often around 76 to 108 beats per minute. Moderato means moderate, right in the center, neither slow nor fast. There is also andantino, a small word meaning slightly quicker than andante, a gentle nudge forward. This middle band is the most natural tempo of all, the pace your foot taps without thinking, the speed of a steady heartbeat at rest. Listen to the pulse at a walking speed, around 92 beats per minute. That steady stride is andante. Notice that it feels neither sleepy nor hurried. It just moves, at the pace of a person crossing a room without any reason to rush. Most of the music you hum to yourself, most pop songs, most folk tunes, live right around here in the comfortable middle. Now the fast end, where the music comes alive. Allegro means fast and bright, and it is the workhorse of the whole list, the tempo of most lively opening movements, often around 120 to 156 beats per minute. Vivace means lively and quick, with a bit of extra sparkle. Presto means very fast, often above 168 beats per minute, and prestissimo is faster still, about as fast as fingers can manage. Listen to the pulse step up to a brisk allegro, around 132 beats per minute. Feel how the beats crowd together and the music starts to push forward. Compare that in your memory to the slow largo from earlier. The pulse is exactly the same kind of click, but packed 3 times as tightly, and the whole mood flips from calm to driving. From Largo to Presto, that is the full ladder, slow and spacious at the bottom, racing and tight at the top, with the comfortable walk of Andante sitting right in the middle. So far each word sets one fixed speed for a whole section. But composers also need to change the speed while you play, and there are 3 words you will meet constantly. Ritardando, often shortened in the score to RIT with a full stop, means gradually slow down. Its close cousin rallentando means much the same thing, a gradual broadening. Accelerando means gradually speed up, pushing forward with rising energy. And a tempo, 2 words together, means return to the original speed you started from, after one of those changes. Listen to the click as a ritardando pulls it slowly wider and wider, the beats drifting further apart, and then a tempo snaps it straight back to where it began. That stretch and release is how music breathes at the end of phrases. A ritardando at the close of a piece is the musical equivalent of slowing your steps as you arrive at a door, a natural easing to a stop rather than a sudden halt. Speed is only half of what these words carry. A second family describes the mood, and these travel right alongside the tempo. Dolce means sweetly, played gently and tenderly. Cantabile means in a singing style, as if the line were a human voice carrying a melody, shaped with the rise and fall of breath. Espressivo means with expression, with feeling shaped into every phrase. You will also see legato, meaning smooth and connected, each note flowing into the next, and its opposite, staccato, meaning short and detached. These words do not change how fast you play. They change how you play. The same handful of notes can be hammered out plainly, or shaded dolce, sweet and rounded, and the difference is entirely in the touch, not the tempo. A composer who writes espressivo above a slow line is asking you to mean every note, not merely to play it. In real music, the 2 kinds of word often share one line, and you read them together. A heading like Allegro cantabile tells you 2 things at once. Allegro sets the speed, fast and bright. Cantabile sets the character, in a singing style. So the whole instruction is, play it quickly, but make it sing, fast notes that still flow like a melody rather than a drill. Decode the speed word first, then the mood word, and you have the composer's intention before your hands ever touch the keys. A heading like Adagio espressivo says a very different thing, slow and full of feeling, every note given room and weight. An Allegro con brio, a phrase you will meet often, simply adds with spirit, fast and full of fire. 2 or 3 short words at the top, and the entire approach to the page is set, the speed, the touch, and the attitude, all before the first bar. So a few Italian words at the very top of the page hand you the speed and the spirit of the whole piece, before you read a single note. Largo and Adagio for slow, Andante and Moderato for the walking middle, Allegro and Presto for fast. Ritardando and Accelerando to bend the speed as you go, and a tempo to bring it back. And dolce, cantabile, and espressivo to color the mood. Learn that short list and the top line of any score stops being a mystery. That also closes our run through reading a single line of music, from the staff and the clefs, through note values and rhythm, to the words that set its speed. Next in the series we leave single lines behind and learn to navigate a whole score, the repeats and road signs that send you jumping back and forth around the page, so a few printed bars can stand in for a piece many times their length.